You have 15 seconds to ruin a job interview. What do you do or say? I had a candidate tell me I have extreme anger problems and I can't help but get loud and hands-on when someone doesn't get what I'm trying to say. It was for an engineering internship. My manager once had a guy come in for a job interview. Dolph seemed really nice, clean-cut, polite. He was talking to her and rolled up his sleeves. Swastikas. An armful of swastikas. She was honest and told him she didn't think it was going to work out, as the owner of the business was Jewish. He was like, "Okay, I understand." They were in there for about 2 minutes. Does your employee theft policy offer second chances, or would you fire me right away? Bring a bottle of apple juice and proceed to tell the interviewer that you brought your own drug test sample whilst accidentally spilling it all over the table and their laps. Was nervous and chugged the last of my Coke before going inside. Went to shake the guy's hand and say hello, but a very loud long burp came out instead. I just dropped his hand and left. A startup was trying to recruit me via a recruiting agent, and I did a phone interview with the director. No one told the director that he was supposed to be trying to recruit me. He thought I was interviewing for a job rather than trying to interest me in his company and pull me away from my current job. It was at this point I was fairly sure I didn't want to work for them, so I started ignoring all his questions and reverse interviewing him. Director, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Me, yes, thank you. Assertive voice, well, where do you see your company in 5 years? Director, well, we're a startup, so there's always uncertainty. It depends on things. How, things go. What happened with your last job? I had problems with my boss. Never talk crap about your old job or boss. Edit, a few folks are noting exceptions. The code words for a hostile work environment during the interview are, I learned a lot and I made lasting friendships. Wait, what year is this? I actually said that in an interview. I had been traveling a lot and got some years and dates mixes up. The interviewer questioned me on how long I had been working in Germany, and I mixed it up. And I actually said that. Needless to say, I did not get the job. Speedrun, drive there at the same time as the interviewer. Take their parking space, open your window, flip them off. Make sure your face and clothing is very distinct so they remember it. The interview is now ruined as soon as you come in, maybe even before. The 15 seconds haven't even started yet and it's ruined. I have a story. I'm being interviewed by a white guy, a white girl and this big Jamaican man for an RA position at uni. The question is, you see a racial slur written on someone's door. What do you do? I respond with, well, sometimes it's okay to be racist, obviously not a good start. I try to get myself out of the hole by giving an example where one of my friends who is black and his residence house mascot was a raccoon, so everyone called him Coon. I gave that example and, yeah, anyways, I didn't get the job. JFC, I cringe every time I think about it. The Jamaican's jaw was on the damn floor as I'm trying to recover. I should have just walked out. Manager, so what do you think you can bring to our team? Me, I'll infect everyone with happiness and pixie dust. I actually did say that in an interview one time, and upon reflection, it sounds like I wanted to give everybody drugs and or a disease. It also reminds me of the time I was working at the Godiva at our local mall, early in my marriage. Teenage dude, maybe around 17 to 18, comes in and asks for 2 applications. This was back before online applications were really a thing. I hand them to him and he just gives me this look. Then he tells me that when he turns them back in, that he and his friend, who would be filling out the other application, needed to have every shift together, that if they hired one, they had to hire both of them, and that if they weren't going to hire both he and his friend, they might as well forget it because they came as a team and would only take the job if they were allowed to work together every shift. Both those applications went straight into file 13. I was interviewing someone once for a job working with children. A lady told me, out of the blue, Hispanic people don't know how to raise their children, the things that those kinds of children will say. That sure took less than 15 seconds and it sure ruined the interview. As an interviewer, let me say my favorite one. Me, what's your greatest strength? Candidate, well I guess free lifts. I can do like 80 now. I had to excuse myself and leave the room. Mind you, this was some 16-year-old interviewing for a grocery store, but to this day I still think I should have hired him. Had an acquaintance sit down with me, I probably wasn't going to hire him anyways, many reasons, but I thought, why not? But then this MFR tells me I don't actually like the work, but I'm mostly on time and this place seems chill like that. I was so cheesed he wasted my time, even more than I initially thought he would, and also, who says that? Entitled Lil Poop. I am not okay with people being late, or stupid. Insulting, man. I've had that happen as the interviewer. Oh, I never actually did that. I just didn't think I'd get the interview if I didn't put it on my CV. Stunned silence, followed by a more polite than deserved okay, we're going to hang up now. Well, back in the day when I used to work with technical support for mobile devices, my first boss told us that when he was hired, his group in the selection process was asked what their favorite mobile operational system was. A guy answered it was Android because it was easier to hack into and download pirate software for. No need to wonder what happened within the following 2 minutes. What's your name? Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? What? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. No need to wonder what happened within the following 2 minutes. Wanna see how far I can shove this kazoo down my throat? There's a reason I don't have a job yet. I know the name of that one receptionist at the hospital though. She always says hi, another kazoo. So I play another solo for her. I'm a good person. I am only applying for this job because I have to apply for jobs to keep my unemployment benefits. If hired, I will work the bare minimum to not get fired until I become eligible for unemployment again, at which point I will intentionally fuck up until you have no choice but to fire me. I briefly fell asleep during an interview once. The guy was just going on, and my eyes started closing. When he said, "Are you sleeping?" I snapped out of it, and tried to play it off like the air was just very dry and my eyes were too dry to keep open. My brother once asked the interviewers how they felt about Monday absence, coming in hungover and leaving early on Fridays. They thought it was hilarious and said they need a supervisor with that kind of confidence and humor. He wasn't even applying for that job. He was asking them a serious question. I had a job interview where I legit forgot about my own name, and when the interviewer asked my name I just said Irv for about 1 minute until I said pass. Then I asked for an easier question and they asked why I wanted to there. I took of the mic until I stopped saying Irv, so when I finally had an answer I just said my name really loud, and long story short, I did not get the job. Frown. I recently had someone that I was interviewing tell me that they were planning on legally changing their name because when people Google him they find out he has a criminal conviction. So guess what I did as soon as he left? Yup. Guy stole $15K from an old lady he worked for. Interviewer: it seems you haven't worked since May 2020, what have you been doing in the meantime? Interviewee: wake up, game, sleep. What else can you do stuck at home without a job? I've done it, several times now. Interview your interviewers. LPT: look for jobs when you already have a job. If you negotiate salary, ask uncomfortable but important questions, like why did the previous person leave, or will you expect me to work past my 40-hour agreement without compensation? You learn a lot about your prospective employer. It's just as important that they're a good fit for you, as you are a good fit for them. Me: hope you boys like scrambled eggs, I borrowed some from your fridge to make it, hope you don't mind. Whips out plate. Everyone at the prenatal clinic: wait. What? Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.